Good evening. Well, here we are again with our programme Bits and Pieces. Sorry about the technical faults last week, but it wasn't our fault, it was that lot up there.
Rubbish!
Anyway, Derek liked the idea of Enid's lips moving and no sound coming out. He said it was quite a change. We'll start this week with the happy events.
There was a double christening at St Barnabas last Sunday, mother and daughter with their respective babies. Mr and Mrs G Feltham of Creswick Road with their baby Lee John, and their daughter Mrs S Bowles of Redfield with baby Teresa Jane. The babies were born within 2 weeks of each other and making Lee John a very young uncle indeed. Is this a record for Knowle West? Also at St Barnabas, on Saturday, Miss Pat Dallin of Kenmare Road married Mr David Adams of Donegal Road. The bride's mother made all the dresses and they were very nice too. Mr Burt Abrams was a guest and was well supported by the bridegroom and the bride's father, who are broad plain old boys.
And also congratulations and best wishes from me to Maureen Kelleher and Fred O'Leary, who were married at Christ the King, Philwood Broadway last Saturday. Fred always promised that Sheila Diamond and me could be his bridesmaids when he got married, but never mind, Fred, we'll forgive you. Last Sunday at Christ the King, Philwood Broadway, 29 boys and girls made their first Holy Communion and afterwards had breakfast in the school hall. And next Sunday, June the 16th, is the annual pilgrimage to Glastonbury. A 41-seater coach will leave from Christ the King at 12:30 p.m. Pilgrims will assemble at the Tor Field by 2 p.m. for a short service given by Bishop Alexander, and then to the Convent Field for the main service. Light refreshments will be available after the pilgrimage, and there's still some seats left if anyone would like to go.
Now we come to the part that Barb and I like best, being surrounded by men. We love it. At the back of the Broadway Cinema is the headquarters of the 2124 Squadron Air Training Corps. It's for youths 13 to 18, and we were impressed by the enthusiasm of the leaders and the pupils. The boys learn the most exciting things: high-frequency radio, rifle shooting, flying, gliding, parachute jumping, etc. And when the commanding officer feels they are learned enough, the boys are taken to various camps to see it really happen. The range of this youth organisation offers unlimited scope to adventuresome boys, and the drill and self-discipline is a delight to see. Some of the boys are off for a week soon to live exactly as the RAF at Cosford, all for 77 pence. By the way, the uniforms are free. The leaders are all voluntary, but really must be interested in the RAF and what it represents. Our thanks to Flying Officer Mr Broad, Chief Warrant Officer Mr Botley, Warrant Officer Mr Houselander. They are all very dishy men. It must be the uniforms, girls.
Every Tuesday evening, the US Junior Youth Club dancing group meet at the Philwood Social Centre for instruction in tap, ballet and modern musical dancing. They are taught by Mrs Winston of Bantry Road, who is a member of the US Committee. Last week I paid them a visit and saw the Tiny Tots section going through their paces. 3 small girls were on stage dancing and miming Little Bo Peep, and very good they were too. The dancing club caters for all ages from 3 years upwards. They are divided into 2 groups: under 8s from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. and over 8s from 7:30 until 9 p.m. If you would like your child to be a member of the group, bring them up any Tuesday night.
There is a sponsored swim of the schools at Philwood Baths on Saturday the 15th of June, 5:30 p.m. It's a youth campaign to help the aged. Also a sponsored walk on Sunday the 16th, 10 a.m. at Hengrove School in the playing fields. A maximum of 10 miles must be walked. The Salvation Army offers an open-air market Friday 6:30 p.m. in Padstow Road. The garments are as new and bargains galore. It should be like a miniature petticoat lane, but they say it's adults only, no children. If you want to know what is happening in the social centre these days, pop into the centre Saturday afternoon and we will be there to meet you and have a chat. Tea, coffee and snacks will be available. Come up and see us in the flesh.
Mrs. C. Harrington, who works for Western Commercial Cleaning, said, any women interested in the Saturday work at Butlins Minehead should ring 633 952. She explained women are urgently required, and with a free pickup from Whitehall, Redfield, St George, Hartcliffe and Knowle, and a good rate of pay, the job is very worthwhile. I'll repeat the number again, 633 952, and ask for Mrs. Harrington. And another job with a difference, 4 nights a week, a group of ladies are taken by coach to Langford Farm, Churchill, where from 5:30 until 9:30 they work cutting mushrooms.
Coming home Sunday afternoon, we saw 2 horses merrily eating the grass in the garden of Mrs. Thomas of Hartcliffe Road, and being the nosy reporter I am, we stopped. They belong to Susan Thomas and Denise Kane, who both have a very deep love of horses and have proved it for a couple of years by looking after other people's. Susan's was a birthday present from her uncle, and both girls do lots of little jobs to pay for their upkeep. The horses and the girls go to their first gymkhana on Saturday. Mrs. Thomas, who's a widow, said an interest of any kind is worthwhile if it keeps the children off the streets, and what an easy way to keep your lawn well mowed.
Did you know this well is all that's left of Philwood Farm, once owned by Farmer Hall? I was told the farm was surrounded by trees, and behind the farm was a beautiful avenue of elm trees. It was situated between Ince Court and Hartcliffe Way, now the centre of a building complex of 260 council houses and bungalows. We were assured that much of the land and trees would be left for us to enjoy.
And to end this week, we have the children of Knowle Road Infant School doing the story of the prodigal son. Good night.
Good night.